What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's Wise 5 Picks stream. We have not had the pool of picks that we were attempting to choose from as big as it was today in a very long time. So I'm pretty excited for today. You feeling the same way, Ben?
I am. There was a lot of value on the board today. So
Yeah, I
I'm
wouldn't.
looking
I
forward
think.
to today's picks and
Yeah. So I think that we're gonna probably end up in the vicinity of another 4 or 5 additional picks up on the Capwise dashboard for our subscribers. I think it's gonna be that kind of day. We literally did
gonna be
rock
a
paper
lot of
scissors
volume.
at one point because we just couldn't decide which of two plays was better.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. A lot of value. I'm gonna have a lot of plays on the board today, probably more than I typically have, but that's okay. Yeah,
So
I think it's gonna be a good day.
yeah, Jack says, "Someone please don't let me bet on Castillo again." No worries, we got you. Don't bet on Castillo today.
Yeah.
And Larry,
there,
no
buddy.
plays on model. I have all of the model stuff up on the spreadsheet on today's tab, if that's what you mean.
Yeah,
If-
and I think from the dashboard side, like I texted our web developer and I said I think we're ready to go live. So we'll have at least everything on the dashboard, as long as Nick signs off on it. So
I'm good to go.
yeah,
So let's hop into it. So first pick today, our money line play. Let me find where the widgets are. We have so many widgets. Money line wise pick of the day is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays minus 121 against the Texas Rangers. So here that is. So pitching matchup in this one, Josh Fleming and Kyle Gibson. So Gibson, right-handed pitcher, making his first start, coming off the IL. His face level numbers this year look pretty good. I mean, he's got a 2.24 ERA. He's got a 1.01 WHIP. But he's not the kind of pitcher who's gonna sustain that level of play. I mean, he's been around for a long time. He's 33. He's never had an ERA over a full season lower than 3.6, and his career ERA is 4.5. And the Rays, over the last few weeks, are the second best team in the league. This is going back to May 15th, kind of an arbitrary day. But going back to May 15th, Rays are the second best team in the league hitting against right-handed pitching. On the flip side, you have Josh Fleming on the mound for Tampa. Fleming is a young guy. He's a lefty. Not like super crazy stuff. He's not a strikeout artist, but he does a really good job kind of just not allowing tons of base runners, not allowing a lot of home runs, that kind of thing. Just an all-around solid pitcher. And the Rangers, over that same time frame, are actually the worst team in the league hitting against left-handed pitching. So yes, Rangers are at home, which is a little bit of an edge for them. But I think at minus 121, if you have the best team in the league or second best team in the league against righties going against the worst team in the league against lefties, that's just such an advantage for the Rays that even at minus 121, I think it's a great value.
I agree, and I think one guy in particular who had a very quiet series against the Yankees is a Rosarena, but I think he's going to bounce back. This is a Rangers team that right now isn't playing with the most confidence, and yeah, I love the spot. Makes a lot of sense. I also thought Kyle Gibson was 38 years old. Don't ask why. Nick was like, he's 33, but in my mind, he's old.
He's not that much of a boomer.
I know, but yeah, I think Rosarena is gonna have a good series. It's here we go again. He's due. But,
He's due.
He should have a decent series. I think it starts today. He's been really solid though throughout the course of the season. Just recently, he's been seen a little bit of a dip, but I mentioned a few weeks ago, he's like a young guy that definitely is going to be a face of the league upcoming here.
Yeah,
If he isn't already.
totally agree. Also, so we're on a crazy cold streak right now on these money line plays. Over the last 11 streams, the money line plays are 1-9-1. So they started out the season as the best things that we had outside of the props, but they are ice cold.
I think we started like 8-3 or something.
They started out I know 11-6.
Yeah.
And now they're at 12-15. So we are due on the money line side. Just some bad luck there. But we had like 5 different money line plays we liked today. So I think it's the bounce back starts today on the money line plays and the team total plays.
Yeah. Parlay all 5 of these.
Mm-hmm. Man, I was feeling good yesterday when we started out 3-0.
Yeah.
And then
I agree with what you said to me the other day, or you said it in the Discord this morning, or maybe it was late last night, about the Angels when the bases were loaded.
Yeah, Angels had 2 runs in the first 2 innings, and then left the bases loaded in the third, and left runners on second and third in the fourth.
So, Nick, let me ask you a question. I've always pondered this when live betting.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my mind, when a team, and of course it's situational, but if we were to try to make a blanket statement, if a team is allowing a lot of guys on base in the first few innings, you look to live bet that team as in, hey, they should have had runs, they're going to get runs later, or do you kind of take it as like that was their opportunity and they didn't take advantage of it?
That's an excellent question. I don't know that I'd really think one way or the other way. I mean, I think both are true. Is it a missed opportunity? Absolutely. Lean? Yeah. What do you lean?
So I lean that they're going to get more runs. And of course, we're using one game as an example. It doesn't work that way. But I feel like more times than not, it's like, hey, the team most likely, and of course, it's a blanket statement, right? Like, if that's DeGrom you're going up against, I'm not going to feel that way. But more times than not, I feel that they're going to get theirs later in the game. But yeah, that's a loaded question, of course.
It is a loaded question. It's one that I don't have a great answer to.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we're going to go to our game total. Wise pick of the day. And this one, this is for you, Jack. We're going to go over 8.5 in today's game between the Cincinnati Reds and St. Louis Cardinals, featuring the one and only Luis Castillo. So Ben, start this one off.
Man, Luis Castillo, he was like that. He's like that girl that you meet in college, and then all the homies start talking to her, and then you're on to something new. Did that make any sense?
Yeah, it made sense.
No, I mean, Luis Castillo's old news, man, and he's struggled. It's his changeup, and I think I told Nick, I said, hey, what we've seen with his struggles, if he somehow, some way, pitches a gem today, there was nothing that we've seen this season that would predict that he was to do so today. So I think with that in mind, you got to bank on him having another poor outing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything at all about Castillo that makes me feel like he's gonna pitch well at all. I mean, he's given up at least 3 runs in all but one of his starts this year. And he's been liable to give up 5, 6.
He'll have a good outing at some point this season.
Oh, for sure.
But you just can't. The way you have to approach this stuff is you can't just randomly say, well, I mean, the last 4 games he hasn't pitched well. I think this could be the one.
Mm-hmm. No. Well, because I mean, if you said that after 4 straight bad starts from him, then you've lost 4 or 5 bets in a row trying to bet on that narrative.
Like betting trends, right? We're just like, well,
mm-hmm.
Well, sort of. That's another. We're not going to get into that. But
Yeah, Fresh has
no-hitter.
incoming no-hitter from Castillo. Don't you put that curse on us.
I got a lot of heat when I was like, Madison Bumgarner is washed up, and then he threw a 7-inning no-hitter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I check my DMs. I do. You guys be nice in my DMs. And the Cubs was still a good play. I'll take that to the grave, all right?
Yeah, somebody on, where was it, on Twitter or?
It was on Instagram. He
On
was
Instagram?
respectful about it, but he was just very like, that play sucked. Here's why. I was like, damn, he might be in here.
Uh-huh. Wrote up a 20-page novella.
No, Nick, you know what he said? He was like, you guys should have known because you were skeptical of his over strikeout prop. That's what he said.
I mean, I kind of disagree.
I do too, but we're moving forward.
Yep. Focused on the
forward.
present, focused on the here and now.
Yeah, and the other thing here, Nick, real quick, is I mentioned to you with the Reds, very high variance team offensively, but I feel like their floor is a good 3, so if we're expecting Castillo to struggle, I think we're going to be able to muster up enough runs here, and the Reds bullpen too, not the best either.
Yeah, no, neither team has all that great of a bullpen. So yeah, I think we're gonna get like a 6-4 type of game here.
And the crazy thing with Castillo is actually, if you were to take good innings pitched versus bad innings, I bet the good innings would outweigh the bad innings. But when he's bad, he's real bad. He's given up 2, 3, 4 runs in an inning, specifically the first inning.
Yeah, he's the worst nerfy guy in the league. Best yerfy guy in the league.
I guess that's a fair. The best Yurfie guy.
I mean, he's given up the most runs in the league by 5 in the first inning.
If I was at the game, I'd go up to Castillo and be like, "Hey, you're the best Yurfie pitcher," and he'd be like,
Thanks. I have no idea what that means.
"Thanks." What is this sports betting thing you speak of?
I mean, just talk to former Cincinnati Reds great Pete Rose about that.
Oh yeah, he'll tell you all about that. Cards bullpen got to be the worst.
Yeah, they implode.
Bottom 5 in the NL for sure.
Pretty regularly. They have some good guys, but if it's not those top couple arms, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I have to actually pull this up. Here we go. There's the over 8.5, -105. So next up, team total is going to be the New York Yankees under 4.5 runs today against Nathan Eovaldi and the Boston Red Sox, and we're getting this at -108. So Ben, you start this one off.
Man, this Yankees team. They've been up and down, but tonight,
Ben will knock something off his desk.
Yeah, tonight. Just making sure I didn't kill my dog. Tonight, Eovaldi. He's pitched well against these guys, and I mentioned to Nick I was discussing splits, and we were looking at how the Yankees have played offensively against him, and a guy like DJ LeMahieu hasn't had a lot of success, which is very big on how the Yankees play offensively, because they really rely on those guys to get on base. So then you have the Stantons and the Judges are hitting home runs. But if DJ's not on base and then those are solo shots, we can live with a solo shot from Stanton and Judge and still win this. So I think we have a lot working in our favor here. And the Yankees, jury's still out for me on how good of a team they are offensively, because they're just not consistent. And I think looking on how he's pitched against this Yankees team, I think that's the big thing in this one. And this could be a contrarian play, not a popular play, but I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, so just how well has Eovaldi pitched against the Yankees? since he left the Yankees. Here's how. So since 2018, he started 5 games, I think, against the Yankees, plus a couple of relief appearances. In those games, the very first one, he went. Why does it not show how many innings here? But he faced, I think he went 5 or so innings and gave up 5 earned, which isn't good. But then 6 innings, or 8 innings, no earned, 6 innings, no earned, 6 innings, no earned. And then one other clunker where he gave up 8. And then in like 4 relief appearances, only gave up 2 earned runs in like another 6 or so combined innings. So overall, against the Yankees, we've seen Eovaldi shut them out 3 times out of 5 starts. And I don't think that we're gonna get the clunker type performance today. I think clunker is my new favorite word. I'm done with electric. I'm over electric. Clunker.
Yeah, that was May.
Yeah, that was May. Exactly.
You know what they say, Nick? May electric showers bring June clunkers.
Exactly. You know, I was very close to making the same joke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why we're founders. So
yeah,
we think the same, but also different at times, which is great.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, I like this play a lot. This is a sneaky play. I like it.
I think it's a sneaky one too. I mean, and the Red Sox are, or Eovaldi's pitching pretty well. Just in general. I mean, over his last 6 starts, he's given up 2 or less earned in 4 of them. So I think it even money, we're looking good here.
Jack, that was a tough one, and then of course they hit their over the next 2 games. So I was kind of theoretically correct on my process there, but yeah, it is what it is. Moving on. Oh, good day for the Rockies, Ben.
So we have.
Ooh.
We'll talk about the Rockies coming up. There's also going to be a couple Rockies adjacent plays on the dashboard today.
I'm pretty sure I put the thought into J Money, if that's Justin, who I think it is, about John Gray. Like, he's so good at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everyone just assumes that I like the Rockies today because of that.
So player prop today.
Hop into it.
Is going to be Zach Wheeler over 6.5 strikeouts against the Washington Nationals at -125. So this one, I really think, just boils down to the fact that 6.5 is a low number for Wheeler right now, and not having to pay like a -150 or -160 to get this number. I love it. So there it is. So Zach Wheeler.
I thought it was.
Oh, you thought it was going to be like 8.5 or something?
Yeah. I was like 6.5. Sheesh.
Yeah, this is just too low. There's no 2 ways about it. So Zach Wheeler, his last 5 starts, most recently 14 Ks. Before that, 12 Ks. The start before that, 10 Ks. The start before that, 7 Ks against Washington. Start before that, 8 Ks. He's only had 1 start below 6 this year. So why is this only at 6.5? I don't know.
Paging. Bueller.
Walker.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
Here's my guess. My guess is that the Nationals have Soto back, and that plays, well, how much of a factor does that actually play? But I think that has a little bit to do with this. Also, these 2 teams, I guess, know each other, but in my mind, it should be at least 7.5.
Yeah, I really feel like this should be 7.5 at the same juice.
And Nick, when I say these teams know each other, what I'm really getting at is I think it naturally adds some longer at bats, just because guys are kind of waiting on pitches. They know they're coming, and then if they're fouling off a lot, and then that could potentially lead to a high pitch count. But still, we need 7 from him. He's hit that 80% of his games.
I mean, he's hit it 5 in a row, and 7 out of 11 this year.
80%. Close.
Something like that.
Round up to the nearest 8. Yeah, this is also I kind of like Scherzer's over too.
Yeah, I do kind of like Scherzer's over as well.
Yeah, which naturally makes us like the under a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun game to watch, I think.
It is. If you enjoy pitchers duels, this is for sure the game to tune into today.
Yeah, Turner's the problem for the Phillies.
Yeah.
No protection.
Yeah, so I mean, Wheeler's been in this division for his entire career, so he's faced these guys a lot. So Trey Turner is the guy who has some success against him. So Turner, 9 for 31, with only 5 strikeouts in those 31 at bats against Wheeler. So he's not the guy. If we get a strikeout on Turner, we're looking great. So Soto, 5 for 24 against Wheeler with 9 Ks. So I don't think Soto's going to be a huge problem. There's just like so many guys.
Soto's an interesting case, Nick. I think he's one of those guys that he can be a big factor in a game, or you can kind of pitch around him. But I think naturally the market is maybe overreacting a little bit to him in this spot, at least.
I agree, and I mean he's a guy who strikes out. I mean, all of the big power hitters strike out a lot. So if you're looking at a strikeout prop, I mean, you don't care how many runs the other team scores insofar as, or outside of how much it affects the pitch count. But a guy like Soto being in the lineup is actually good for a strikeout prop. It's like guys like Judge and Stanton being in the lineup for the Yankees is good for the strikeout number for the opposition pitcher.
100%.
So, is it time for the Nerfy? And nobody has guessed the Nerfy.
This one is this is a juicy one. I think this might be the juiciest of the juice. Juiciest of the juice. This is like pulpy. Yeah.
It is a pulpy Nerfy.
Yeah.
It is we're going Athletics Rockies Nerfy at plus 138 today. Dun 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 dun.
Huh, Larry, what?
So, is this going to be a popular pick? Probably not. Have we had success with Rockies Nerfies this year? 100% yes.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Let me look.
We've only missed one.
So we've had.
I think it was Gomber, right?
So we had San Diego, Colorado Nerfy at plus 123 before, and that hit. We had Colorado, San Diego Nerfy in San Diego at minus 120, and it hit. We had another Colorado, San Diego Nerfy at minus 107 that hit. So that's it. That's all of our Colorado Nerfies, but we're 3 for 3 on them so far, including another one at big plus money like this in Coors Field. And I think it really comes down to the pitchers, right? So like we talked about, Jonathan Gray pitches really well at Coors. And what's his name? Frankie Montas is also a solid pitcher. I mean, and is it in Coors? Yeah. Does that increase the chance of a home run? Yeah. But at plus 138, I mean, if this is in Oakland with these same two pitchers, this is not anywhere close to plus 138. It's probably sitting at minus 105, minus 110. So I think there's just a really, really strong overreaction to Coors on this Nerfy.
So Nick, let me say a few things about this one. So first of all, I'm not too worried about a home run at Coors. I think it's just more the way the park plays. But The big thing that I'm looking at with the top of the lineups for both these teams, with the A's, they're gonna probably have two righties and then a switch hitter Lowry. So that's a good matchup for Gray, righty on righty. And then as far as the Rockies go, if Tapia doesn't get on base, I'm feeling very good. Like that's going to be, it's kind of 50-50 at this point if he gets on base. If he doesn't get on base, I feel very good about this. And in my mind, now it's like even money. So it could still hit, of course, if he gets on base. But then, you have Daza and Charlie Blackmon. No story. So I think we're catching a lot of value. And I think the Coors effect is just kind of hovering over this play. Like no one wants to touch a Nerfy in Coors. Let's be real.
Here, so Ben, fun fact. Our record on plus money Nerfies this year on stream, 4-2.
Nice.
Including
I can hear that.
Yeah, including 2-0 on plus 120 or better.
Uh-huh. Well, I know the model likes the under in this spot, right, Nick?
Yeah, model likes full game under. The model actually does like the Yerfie here, but I don't know how much to trust the model on Nerfies versus Yerfies yet. Kind of not using that to accentuate the handicapping at all at this point.
Mm-hmm. And John Gray's been very good in first innings too.
Yeah, so we have first inning stats for both of these guys. They both have a 4.09 ERA in the first inning this year. But batting averages have been solid. So Montas has just a 209 batting average against in the first inning, and Gray has a 200 batting average against in the first inning. So it's really more just a couple home runs that they've given up with a guy on base that inflates the ERA even just to 409.
Yeah, Trent's been hot with his Nerfies. I think he only missed one out of his last 12 or something. He was like,
I think he's 12-0.
Yeah,
on the last 12.
I thought he missed one.
I don't know.
Oh,
I've seen people saying that he's on a streak, like a complete winning streak without a loss.
That's crazy.
His Nerfy is Brewers D-backs. I mean, love the Brewers side of that. Like the Brewers, or when I say that, I mean Peralta not allowing the Diamondbacks to score.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean Matt Peacock scares the shit out of me.
Nick doesn't like peacocks.
No, I don't.
It is what it is.
I don't think he's a good pitcher.
Matt and who's the other peacock?
Brad.
Are they related?
I don't think so. I did try to look it up.
Okay, but naturally, like if I was at a house party and my last name's Peacock and another guy's name's Peacock, I'm just gonna assume I'm related to them.
Yeah, I mean everybody's related to everybody if you go back far enough.
Okay. But your last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you meet someone with your last name,
oh, then we're 100% related. It's a guarantee. Because my last name, we're the only family in the world with this last name. Because, yeah, here. So fun story. I guess I haven't told you this before. So back in
you told me.
So a couple generations ago, back in Sweden, our last name was Peterson, and there was too many Petersons in Sweden. So like, okay, I'm gonna change the last name. So my last name is Granerud. It's a portmanteau of two Swedish words and then Americanized. So it's like the word for a spruce tree and the name of a creek that ran through my family's property. Took those two things, combined them, Americanized it, and now here we are. So if you see anybody else with the last name Granerud, they are related to me. They're like a very close relative of mine.
Yeah, I'll give a reward if you find someone with that last name. $100 bounty.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to take a picture with them. No Facebook stalking. That's too easy. Anyone could do that. People are gonna show up to your parents' house now.
Yeah, I mean,
They would probably welcome you guys in and have some wine and food.
mhm.
How are last names names?
So I think a
How
lot of
are
it
last
comes
names
down
names?
to your profession, right? So if your last name is Smith, say,
Baker.
then one of your ancestors was probably a smith of some sort, like a blacksmith or some other kind of smithing, working with metals.
Yeah,
Or like if your
yeah
name is Baker, you're probably baked. Or if your last name is yeah,
That's funny how you said that. You probably baked.
you're probably baked.
Yeah.
Your ancestors just got really high all day.
Yeah, my grandma was all into that genealogy stuff, so
Hmm.
I'm pretty in with it. Beck? What about Beck? I don't know.
I don't know.
Mingner.
I don't even know if these are your guys' actual last names.
Yeah. Y'all are playing with us. Snook. DeLuca.
DeLuca.
That's a
That probably means the something in Italian. I don't know what
Italian. Yeah.
Luca is.
Yeah, Larry, I don't believe you. I want to see your ID.
Social security card, please.
Please.
And thank you.
My gamer tag. Yeah, I thought your last name had 265 in it. That's probably going to be the future.
Yeah, first name Snook, last name
Start
265.
having numbers in our last names. I believe you, Larry. All right, any other games, guys, do you want us to talk about?
Common mistake, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Of Luke.
There's a movie coming out about Luke. It's like Luca. It's a Disney movie. Luca. Anyways,
So what's
yeah, I feel
Peacock's
good about
story?
these.
Yeah, his ancestor got attacked by a peacock. That's the story.
Okay, let me say something about this Clippers Mavs game. So the away team has won every game in this series. So I think naturally that's baked into this line, and the Mavericks are at home +3. So I kind of like the value with the Mavs. You're getting +3 at home. And I get it. Like, then the first thing people say is like, well, they've lost, the last 2 at home, whatever, da-da-da-da. But I got to go with Mavs at home +3. Make sense, Nick, what I'm thinking there?
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of overreaction. Maybe that's a little bit of a just coincidence,
I mean, I like the Mavs.
Yeah. Angels. Okay, so Ohtani, man, he's so hard to handicap. It's just he could throw a gem, but then he only gets 5 innings. I don't know. That's probably both my thoughts and Nick's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't try to handicap Otani when he's on the mound. It's hard. It's impossible. And then you have Duggar going for Seattle, who's only going to give you like 3 innings, and then the bullpen comes in. And I also don't like handicapping bullpen games outside of like what the opener's going to do. So it's just a complete avoid spot for me. And yeah, did we see Saucy make 40K last night? Yeah, Saucy goes hard.
Yeah, Saucy's he's a real one. Also, Angels first 5, I can see that, but again, I mean, Ohtani, if you look at his numbers, he's kind of due for some regression because he walks a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if he's due for regression per se. It's just like if he can strand guys on base by just striking everybody out or walking everybody, then he's good. And if not, then he gives up several runs.
Yeah, I guess I mean regression as far as like having a good versus bad outing. I just feel like you're playing with fire there, you know.
Yeah.
But ride the wave if you want to.
Mhm.
Go ahead. I won't stop you.
Detroit, Chicago under 8 again.
Funny you say that. I mean, that's my lane.
Yeah. I like Detroit's spot here. I mean, they definitely have the better pitcher on the mound today, with Turnbull. Kukel's a guy who, I don't know. I mean, he gives up a lot of contact. I typically don't like guys with that kind of profile. So, I also don't know that I trust Detroit to be able to string together hits. So I think I also lean the under. But I think Detroit scoring actually is what worries me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dodgers versus Braves is a spicy one.
Yeah, that one was hard. We kind of just avoided that one when we were going through the games. I mean, both guys coming off their worst starts of the year. Like, who's going to bounce back? Are both going to bounce back? Is neither one going to bounce back?
I feel like one of those team totals is going over and one's going under.
Yeah, you just don't know which it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and they're both really talented pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Urias and Anderson are both electric. That was for you, Jack. But yeah, I don't have anything else. I mean, we're gonna have again another 3, 4, maybe 5 plays in addition to these up on the dashboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of dashboard plays today.
Mm-hmm. Hoping that we picked the right set of 5.
Yeah, hope so.
Yeah, last 2 days, we could have easily gone 4-1 both days just by picking the right one of 2 picks in different spots.
Also, we're 90 days away from football season, guys.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
I'm not counting. Just saying.
Yeah, but other people are counting and they're telling you.
Yeah. I'm not physically like counting. I'm.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when I make Nick do all the work and then he brings me the information.
Yep.
It's like I didn't run the model.
Also, Larry, yeah, I did know that there's not any players on the spreadsheet, so I'm not going to be putting in players until there's confirmed lineups. Because it's like a second round of having to copy and paste everything. I did all of the stuff that we needed for seeing kind of where the value is as far as what the model sees. So that's why there's win probabilities and nerfies and totals and stuff on there. Oh, that's what you were asking before. Yeah. So throughout the day, just like as lineups get confirmed, I'm gonna be rerunning this for those games where there's confirmed lineups now, and then I'll put them in. Also, if you look like at yesterday's stuff, there's team names highlighted in green. That's what that means. So when it's highlighted in green, that means it's been run with the official confirmed lineup.
Mm-hmm. Also, my favorite. I hate doing this because it naturally is not going to win, but I'll say it. I like the total in the Reds cards game. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I think
now these are going to go 4-1, and that one's going to lose. That's how this happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you put the jinx on.
I'm fine with that, I guess.
Yeah.
It's taking one for the team there. What's your favorite? I know.
What do you think my favorite is?
The Rays.
Yeah, I think the Rays is my favorite.
Yeah.
And yeah, also, so the spreadsheet with all these picks is not intended to be like eventually everything is just going to be up on the dashboard. This is kind of for my record tracking purposes. And then I care a lot about openness and being able to be trusted as far as like if I say this is the record. People actually believe me.
Yeah, as you can see, we literally have our record on stream. I mean, I think I made the point. Like, who else is doing that?
Yeah. I mean, like, that's why we care so much about
Yeah, and I
like
think it's
pulling
good to
up all
highlight
the live lines
hard
on
this
boards.
is, too.
Yeah.
It's not easy. This isn't just you wake up and you throw some bets together and you win money. Not easy, guys. And you know this. Most of you guys know it. It's a hard market to beat, but we get you thinking the right way, and then you'll be like Saucy someday.
Yeah, throwing up
Saucy,
10K on
Saucy,
a 2 underdog money line parlay.
I may need to talk to him about his bankroll management, but it's hard to come approach him when he's winning. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he also lost like 20K on a Gonzaga first half bet in college basketball season.
Yeah, Larry, I 100% agree. I think it's, especially in today's sports betting industry, there's so much information. So I think that's why the model is really good when it's firing, because we take all that in and it kind of spits it out and says, here you go. It's kind of like Willy Wonka, you know, when he has the everlasting gobstopper thing. All right.
Yeah. I mean, and my background is in sports analytics. I mean, in addition to other things. I mean, it's statistics in general, but like specifically sports analytics. And like the number one tenet of that is everything being open, like open source, open access. And obviously this is a business now, so we can't publish like what the actual model is. But I still hold that tenet very closely. Like everything has to be reproducible. And the next best thing, as opposed to actually saying like this is the formula or the formulas, then this is open access to all of the results and transparency about the picks that we made and how they did.
Yep. So yeah. Let's have a good day today. I might have a few live bets for this basketball game, so hop on into the Discord if you haven't joined already. I know most of you guys are in it, and make sure to give us a follow on Twitch too if you haven't already. Also, so you can. Oh, I just fell down. I think it's time for me to go, Nick.
Is it?
Yeah.
So Roy,
I was on my seat, and then my leg hit the
lever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Lever. That's the word.
I forgot you even had a seat.
Yeah, I got it like 2 days ago. One time I was on Trent's TikTok live, and this guy's like, "Why do you always stand, bro?" I was like, "I don't know, man." It was pretty funny.
Oh, what's up, Saucy? We were just talking about you.
Oh, see how that works.
Also,
Saucy.
Fresh, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that.
Thank you, man. Hey, Saucy, I want you to put some money on the Nuggets to win the series, and on Superbook it's at plus 175, which I think is an outstanding number.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with your 40K that you won yesterday? Also, Roy, how is Vegas so good? There's a lot of smart people behind the scenes.
Yeah. You know, a few years ago, I personally was like, man, how do they do this? You know, like, this is crazy. Like, they're always so close. But now, I've really understood how they're so good at making the lines and what they're looking at. And I think that naturally makes you a better sports bettor, is understanding the other side of the business, how markets work, you know, what they're looking at. And you got to have that level of understanding. And I think we do a good job on here of explaining why lines are where they're at, you know, from a more human side of things with the eye test. But yeah, there's Nick can tell you, there's a lot of smart people just like Nick who are, you know, working behind the scenes, and they go to the strip clubs after their days of work. So
actually, they work from the strip club,
more or less. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so even like I was able to, with college basketball, had like almost 2,500 games worth of being able to track this. And I mean, without knowing even like what Vegas was doing, I was on average within like my average spread for the game was within a half a point of the true spread, and the total was a point off of the total.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's doable. It's just hard to get that extra little. Like once you get that close, all of the margins become finer and finer and finer, and the difference between 52% and 53%, or 53% and 54%. I mean, that's where the profit is in those thin margins.
Do you see that TikTok, Nick, from like a week ago where I said the difference between a 0.1 percentage in the profit margin?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well,
I don't watch
head
any
over to the-
TikToks that you don't send over in the Discord, and then even some of those I don't watch.
Well, I'm gonna make you.
Okay, yeah, I'll go
But
find
yeah,
it.
it's that point. It's just showing the difference between 52.4% and 52.5%. 52.5% if you were to bet $1,000 on 1,000 games. I mean, it's a kind of a hypothetical, but it shows you the break-even point versus 0.1 percentage point. So, when you get thinking that way, I think that's big, right? Because when someone tells me they're 55% on a season, I'm like, okay, that's decent. If you go 55% for 1,000 games, now I'm like, shit, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go 55% on a bunch of minus 200 bets, then you're terrible at what you do.
Well, that's the whole other side of the conversation.
Yeah. And if you go 55% on plus 100 bets, then you're a genius.
Yep.
Or really lucky. Or both.
Very lucky. I mean, I guess you could flip a coin 100 times and have it hit heads. 100 times.
Yeah.
Nick, if everyone in the world flipped a coin 100 times, so someone out there is going to hit it 100 straight times, right?
Probably not. Well, let's see. So
maybe we take this to the Discord.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good miscellaneous question right there. Also, we have water polo picks, by the way. So
yeah. If anybody's interested in water polo, somebody named Water Polo who showed up and is posting Champions League water polo, and I love it.
I said if your Discord doesn't have water polo picks, I'm not joining.
Yeah. So I think that's enough for today.
Yeah, I think we went from water polo to strip clubs to, we missed a few things, but yeah, we are ready to sign off. Best of luck today. Yeah, I like the slate today. Feeling good.
Feel real good too. And as always, we'll be back tomorrow, same time ish, same place, for sure. And we'll see you then.